Good afternoon, everybody. It's good to see you all here again. Thank you to Reed Corporate for allowing Gold Hydrogen to present to you at this conference. It's an excellent conference, this one, along with all their others. Gold Hydrogen. We are exploring for natural hydrogen and also helium. Natural hydrogen is formed in the ground. It's not man-made. It's not green hydrogen. Green hydrogen's factory. It comes from a factory, and I'll go through more of that shortly. Gold hydrogen. We have had big success in confirming world-class purities of natural hydrogen, up to 95%, and the world's highest ever reported helium concentrations of 36.9%. They are two of the reasons on why we were receiving global interest after our initial drilling campaign and testing campaign, and we went to a strategic investor process, and we selected, after having over 10 international global oil and gas companies, Toyota Motor Corporation, Mitsubishi Gas Chemical and Enios Explorer are three of the largest, not only Japanese companies but worldwide companies, have invested in our project and wish to see our continued success and development. A bit more about us. South Australia. 100 years ago, approximately, when they were looking for oil and gas, they drilled 3 wells on the Yorke Peninsula in South Australia, and 3 times they failed, but they found up to 90% purity in hydrogen and naturally formed hydrogen. Now, there's no market like lithium. People discovered lithium accidentally as well, looking for gold and iron ore, but there was no market at the time. We applied for these permits. We have approximately over 79, or approximately just under 75,000 square kilometres. It's a huge position. We know that there is an enormous amount of hydrogen there. That prospective resource report is only over a third of that dark green permit. We know that the hydrogen extends further on that permit and elsewhere. The helium, we have a prospective resource as well for the world-class purities we have. Now, helium-3, we have found helium-3. Helium-3 is one of the rarest commodities in the world, where people are actually spending hundreds of millions to billions of dollars to go to the moon to find helium-3. It can be found on land, and we have found it on land, and part of this process of our next drilling campaign is to find out more about that. And yes, we are drilling in October, mid to end of October, new 2 to 3 well program. So we've worked with world-leading experts, Cyro, Schlumberger, Excalibur. We're getting there. This is to give you some example. Historical rock chip samples taken from former drilling on our areas, our permits, confirmed that hydrogen and helium is present. We know it's not just where they drilled 100 years ago and where we drilled. We know it will be regionally extensive, and we look forward to finding more about that. The global hydrogen forecast, it is enormous, but hydrogen is not just going to be power, energy, it's going to be transport. It's going to be heavy vehicles, light vehicles. Toyota are committing to hydrogen. Japan is committing to hydrogen. But hydrogen is also used for feedstock, fertiliser, ammonia, but importantly, green methanol. So green methanol is a clean fuel or a lower carbon fuel. So your Baie Maries at these functions, that heating flame, that is methanol, but that's methanol made with hydrogen and carbon. Green methanol is bioorganic waste that is used as the carbon into the hydrogen. Mitsubishi Gas Chemical is one of the world's largest distributors of methanol, and they invested in our project to work with us on green methanol opportunities. There are ports in our area, which you'll see at Port Giles, underutilised port, it's right in our project area. We wish to confirm with our next drilling campaign and the like further commercial opportunities, including helium, which I'll go back to again. But why natural hydrogen as opposed to, as I said, factory-made hydrogen? Factory-made hydrogen, you have to purchase, buy, assemble solar panels made in China or elsewhere. That solar panels are used to power a factory hydrolysis machine. Water is used to put into that, which is rare and to be conserved. And once you've done all that, you can make a molecule of hydrogen. That costing is about $7 a kilogram before transportation. That is probably why you've heard that green hydrogen may not end up making it as a hydrogen source. Natural hydrogen, Mali in Africa, MALI, have been drilling and producing natural hydrogen for over a decade. They are powering a town, admittedly a small town, but it's been powered by natural hydrogen. They have indicated the cost of drilling and producing before transportation is $1 a kilogram or less. That is a very big commercial difference. And so just for energy, you can see why natural hydrogen is the future. Around the world, other companies are trying to follow us and others. Bill Gates, Bezos, they've invested into a company called Coloma, looking for natural hydrogen in the States, and invested over $350 million into that company. This is real. Helium, not just used for party balloons and squeaky voices. There is a world global need for helium. MRIs, medical technology, laboratories, space. It's the best cooling agent you can find. Future uses, US Department of Energy are very keen to get back helium supplies because it's diminishing around the world. Australia no longer produces helium. So supercomputers, data centres, AI, it's a big requirement. Now helium-3, it is the ultimate cooling agent. It's only found in the moon or in degrading nuclear warheads every 12 years. There's not much supply left, and Russia, China, America wish to go to the moon to get this. It is found around the world on land, but quite often in volcanic areas or Nordic areas, so it's hard to get. Now, we have found it in fairly good levels. We wish to, on our next drilling campaign, find more of it. We're not there yet. This is early days. It's exotic on this. But a kilogram of helium-3 sells for $18 million. Your 4-kilogram gas bottle at home is worth approximately $70 million. That is why people are spending hundreds of millions of dollars or billions to go to the moon to get it, because the value is there. Nuclear fusion. Gates and Bezos and others believe that they have created the nuclear fusion technology, but you need helium-3 to cool it down. And the use of that would be 100 kilograms annually for nuclear fusion to have the best cooling agent. That will be a game changer for the world if that can ever occur. Look, results to date. There was a historical well 100 years ago. We drilled the first 2 wells. We got great results of the hydrogen and the helium at those levels. We undertook 2D seismic over that whole peninsula after that. We now know that where we drilled was not the most optimal location. We believe there's numerous more optimal locations. We just drilled where they did exploration wells to confirm that natural hydrogen was there. And we got a wonderful upside with that helium. We have undertaken a lot of work, CSIRO soil samples that I showed you. Now we're drilling next, and we wish to drill wells in more optimal locations, larger sizes, and for the purpose of optimising gas extraction from those wells. That is the plan for this next campaign. The last campaign were exploration wells only and testing. You can see the spikes for the hydrogen and the helium on those two graphs there of where they have come out of the well system. You know, we drill 1,000 metres. It's not that deep in gas exploration, usual techniques. Those two graphs show we had limited testing time, but how the helium and the hydrogen extends and grows as we were testing. That was on a 180 barrel a day testing program. We'll be doing 20,000 barrel a day testing program on the next one. Seismic, I mentioned that. We did an extensive seismic survey over that area. And again, we have confirmed many new locations that we wish to expand our drilling and exploration on. You'll see the next slide here, that Ramsay 3, that's where we wish to drill in 5 weeks' time. You can see the structures, any geologists there, you can see the structures and the caps on those graphs there, and that's where we're going to place it. That's approximately 1.5 kilometres north of our last 2 wells that we drilled. Next steps, as you see, we've interpreted the seismic and that's still ongoing. We've designed the wells and the design process for procurement. We are drilling soon. We wish to drill those wells and move toward pilot production, as we said. International companies such as BOC, Linde, Air Liquide, amongst others, wish to help us do pilot production for the helium. You can bottle it on site quite affordably and efficiently and go to market commercially. As again, there's no production in Australia, so there's already a market here for us. And the progress of the other application areas that you saw on that screen, we have a big area. We wish to get to those areas and start exploring in more depth. We know that the hydrogen and helium should be extensive. Again, that is just some more seismic areas for the technical people in the room and shows the under area and the geology of the ground. And the hydrogen, as you know, or should know, it is naturally formed below the surface of iron-rich rocks and degrading uranium, which splits the water or splits the hydrogen from the water, and the hydrogen migrates to the surface. Helium cannot be man-made, and it's caused from degrading uranium. That is why the helium's there in such good results. Our people, I'm Managing Director and co-founder, one of the largest shareholders. Peter Bupendorfer, Frank Glass, Billy and Julian are very experienced technical geologists and reservoir engineers with a lot of experience. We've got a senior team. And our board, Alexander Downer is our chairman. He's a former longest serving Australia's Foreign Affairs Minister. He was very crucial and important in our international dealings with our strategic investors and those interested in the project. Catherine Barnett, Roger Cressy and Carl are very experienced in their fields and executors. I'll be around for the next presentations and milling around for the post-network drinks. If you do have any questions, please feel free to come up to me and we can talk about anything more. And otherwise I can get cards and we can talk more about it. I think the booth is shutting and people might want to get going. But thanks again, and thanks to the supporters of Gold Hydrogen that are already investors here as well.